Namaskar. Very warm welcome to all the viewers in this live interaction of CIET NCERT. I am Renu Bhatt with you all, and you are watching us live on PME Vidya channels from channel number 6 to 12. And apart from all these channels, you are with us on our YouTube channels as well, that is NCERT official and NCERT PME Vidya class number 6 to 12. And dear viewers, as you know, this is our special series based on artificial intelligence, and the theme of this series is empowering parents with artificial intelligence. We are on phase 2, and today is the last day of this particular series, and this series is organized by aicell CIET NCERT, and the topic that we are going to discuss today in this specific session is quite important for all the parents out there. It's AI and social media influence protecting children from algorithm traps. So, in order to spread awareness about AI among parents, we have conducted this particular series, and you have learned a lot about artificial intelligence. What is AI and what are the benefits for parents, and what are the risks and challenges associated with AI. You need because your role is very much important. So, we have joined by our expert to throw more light on this particular topic. So, without any further delay, let's quickly start this session and meet him. You are Dr. Rajesh D. You are Associate Professor and in charge from aicell CIET NCERT and Program Coordinator as well, sir. Very warm welcome, sir. Swagat hai aapka.
Namaste.
And we are pleased to have you in this series and our program. And before we start this particular session, let me share some certain information to all the viewers in case you have any query related to this particular topic, or you want to know more about AI and its benefits. You can reach out to us through our various mediums. Dear viewers and parents, we want you to participate in this live interaction in huge number with all your queries. You can call us on our telephone number. It's 8800 440 559. Or either you can drop your email as well with all your feedbacks. Our email address is aicell@ciet.nic.in. And in case you have joined us through our live streaming, that means you are on our YouTube channel, then you have to go to the live chat box, and then only you can drop your comments out there. Our expert will be more than happy to answer all your queries and doubts if you have any. So, let's quickly start this session. At the very beginning of this session, Rajesh sir, we really very excited to know more about AI, and we need to explore AI, as this is the time, this is the need of the era, right? We can say so. So, please let us know more about AI and its origins, sir.
Yeah, it's a nice opening question to answer this, because today other than our lunch or any food materials, we use this new buzzword as artificial intelligence. Other than our food items, we are now everything, right from mobile phone, any digital device that we are using today always now precedes with the pretext called as AI. So, we are running with the pretext and we are impressed by the pretext. Even the watches have changed into AI watch from the smart watch, like TVs also have been changed from smart TVs to AI inbuilt TVs. So, we are running with the buzzword. So, exactly we need to understand the ecosystem of this artificial intelligence, where the evolution starts or it pitched off from. It is very amazed for us to understand the year 1950 itself. The neonate status of culturing the idea behind AI was initiated by Alan Turing. He was the scientist. He was one of the he had this the initial progression of idea, like he wants somebody to interact with this kid. So, he made computers as a responsive statement to engage with the child, to respond to all the queries that a child is asking. So, he started initiating this in 1950s, and when years passed by in 1970s, we also thought of having brainstorming on the stage of different stages of AI, which we call it as the infant. And after 10 years exactly of 1980s, we started reignition, which you call it as funding and algorithm generation starts, where the mathematical matrices started flowing into the knowledge pattern, where we thought of identifying the knowledge patterns, where we thought of identifying plenty of number of matrices that we pitch into this reignition. When we cross across 2000, or we call it as 2000, we actually went with the beta stage. We call it as the availability of the computing that hardwares need to install, because today we are running with GPUs, where initially when you talk about even the storage system, we started with microchips with 1 Mbps and then we had 10 Mbps, and then we had 16 Mbps, and then we had even the double of 32, and then we went into 128, and it goes on like this. Similarly, at the beta stage for AI was really in 2000s. So, final boom which came in 2010 was the intensive use case, where we thought of working on Internet of Things, we thought of using virtual reality, augmented reality, big data, and these 4 consensus have come into the evolution system. So, today we are in 2025 saying that almost in India 650 billion people are using internet. When we take the assumption of internet today, we can guaranteely say that almost 73% of growth in usage of internet and the data collection started, and we are almost in the occupancy of AI. So, this is where the evolution of AI started upon.
Okay. So, that was the evolution. And sir, if you talk about artificial intelligence, what is the artificial intelligence composed of, sir?
So, when we talk about the human intelligence, when we started using these computing platforms, where we started thinking about reasoning, identifying the reasoning, identifying the patterns to solve a problem or identify a problem where a solution can be given. The second went on the experiential learning. We call it as when we do some tasks, we are able to produce some answers where we really achieve some of the coding patterns. So, we call those patterns as the learning. Third comes as the exact solving, where we really think about understanding the ecosystem of either going for prediction or you call it as classification. So, these two are there. Hence, this comes as the reasoning, and it also goes with the perception to finally equate with the linguistic intelligence, where today we also talk about plenty number of language acceptions, where we say that in India around 36,000 different slangs and differentiations happen upon, right. So, we also think about integrating our human intelligence converted into artificial intelligence, where instead of making the single brain of a human being work, we think about plenty number of human brains collated into a single structure called as artificial intelligence. So, that is where we are today.
Okay. So, sir, if we talk about artificial intelligence in schools, our children are learning so many things from AI, right? They have AI tools, chat box, and what is the specific or right age of using AI, sir?
So, today when we have crossed the COVID-19, we are nowhere in the picture of giving more restrictions today, as we can say AI is being used by all levels of ages, and when we talk about education ecosystem, there we can decide what type of age and which pattern of education or learning system can be integrated into the education ecosystem. So, that is what we can do. We have to always think to that we make children think, we make the children to have two positive notes of using artificial intelligence. One is like AI is not thinking, it is only predicting. That is the core word that as a parent we have to understand, and we should make the child also understand that this is the whole mantra. And the number two is that AI is to be used only for learning. AI should not be a shortcut, and if your son or daughter are doing, we need to take a sensitive note of it, and then we need to give them the AI literacy then and there. So, if you are not going to respond to the queries of your child, then damn sure we are going to be in a trouble very soon. So, that is the best option that we can give as of now.
So, definitely AI is not a shortcut for any person out there, not for teachers and not for students, although it is a very good support system, we can say so, but we can't depend on AI only. So, right now we really wanted to know about the AI, how it works.
Yeah, AI works as your search engine works. AI starts with the first process of collection, where data is collected, and then it starts processing your data, and also the algorithm for which the AI is earmarked. Are you fixing an algorithm? What is an algorithm? Basically, most of them talk about algorithm, and as a parent you should understand what is an algorithm. Algorithm is a step by step process, or we can write it as a small piece of code that could study and evaluate the pattern for what purpose that particular algorithm is designed. For example, I can use a algorithm to study and the patterns of my own son, where he is what he is doing, what is he learning, which website he is looking into, at what time he is viewing into, what does he learn from that particular website. These patterns to understand, I can create an algorithm where today there is no problem of understanding an algorithm or doing a coding, because today we have all the algorithms available in the means of what you call it as packages. When you go with Python programming, especially in artificial intelligence, you can download these packages and start inserting into your no code, low code pattern, so that you can also understand. So, third comes your algorithm, and the fourth comes as your model development. For which age group are you going to do, because when you do something, it is not only for your son and daughter, in the inverse you can share it with other parents, so that they also get benefit. So, the fourth talks about the model, the fifth comes as your decisions. Whatever data you collect upon your child or your core group, whatever data you process and whatever algorithm you have fixed, and you have converted those algorithm matrix into a model, so that you have now in the final acceptance called as decision making. What predictions are giving? What prediction does it say that if your son or daughter is alone in the classroom or alone in the school or alone in your own house, so what decision he do, what parameters he do, all these decisions can be taken. And finally, you can also have a continuous learning. So, whenever you drop your son or daughter in the house alone, based on her or his parameters, you can have a decision that when I go out, I will give a task to my child, whether it is going to be a playful task, or if he is in a board examination oriented, he can give a some set of exercises. Before I come back, you have to complete it, so that you are engaging the child. So, this entire process is running within a family, and this is going to be a iterative process. When we talk about iterative process, once a process is started, it can never be ended. It will be in a loop until he gets his own employment. This particular process can be continued. So, finally, what we get is that once we learn, once we experience, when we start predict, this could be the good solution for any parent to control or train his child for the better development of the society. So, that is the answer.
Okay. So, this series is specially for parents, right? So, our parents must be thinking about one simple question: why we learn about AI, why AI literacy is important for them, sir, why?
So, another need of the hour, I should thank you for this question, because I have already spoken about the increase in usage of internet, whether you are using the internet based on your mobile phones or your web portals, internet is used. When you say your internet is used, parallelly you have to imagine that how much data is fetched from your own mobile phone and how much your data is being driven from your own web portal. So, if you see these two parameters, and when we read the index of our country, which is recently produced, almost 760 million children are using mobile phones and web portals for their own personal internet search engines, which is a huge number of volume that we need to understand. If this number of age or these number of children with this age or under this age are using this mobile phone at the early stage, we are going to really have an impact of understanding what is AI. We need to understand the ecosystem. So, this graphical what you call in front of me, I have shared you the PPT here, which says 49% of surveyed parents who are not having explained to their children what is AI. Because parents are of two categories. One is they know everything, they do not share it. The second, the parent does not know and dependent upon the children. So, these two categories of different parents are available. Both of them, irrespective of literate or illiterate, they come under this category where they do not talk to the children, number one. Number two, you can see 60% of school environments where the schools also do not nurture the parents or explain the parents what is the good, what is the bad and what is the policies behind it, so that the parents also become the responsible of this society. The third, 83%, you can see the parents reported receiving no school communication. So, that is the importance, because in today's era, digital era, parents are fully dependent upon the schools for a regular and a structured learning pattern. So, we need to emphasize the schools have to pull up their socks, saying that what is good, what is not good should be shared among the parents to all levels of classes, so that both the teachers and the parents should understand, should have a bridge. As we normally say that whenever we prepare a textbook, whenever we prepare a content, whenever we do some good thing to the society, we need to have an ecosystem where all the partners or members should be involved. Similarly, when we talk about AI and the school education, I would always say that both the student, the teacher and the parents should have an ecosystem where they share their problems, where they share their reasons, where they share their explanation and predictions, where we learn equally. When we learn equally, we are becoming more responsible, and we also become as more ethical way of using it. So, we need to understand this ecosystem. So, that is why we need to appraise where we are today every day.
So, definitely we need to upgrade ourselves as well with the times. And so, here we are really very curious to know about the benefits of learning AI for any students.
We are in the era of digital era where AI focuses, and we talk about this every time, but we need to now sensitively categorize at what age what the child has to see. It's not only talking about pornography, it's not about talking about seeing all the e-commerce websites depending upon the age sector. Today, as the usage of Swiggy, usage of Zomato, usage of Flipkart, usage of Amazon and other e-commerce websites are increased by the users under 19. That is the core that we have to understand. If these users are under 19, we need to strictly understand what does IT Act 2020 talk about, what does IT Act 2024 talk about, so that we equally sensitize each other, where the parents have to take a note that at this age my child has only this privilege. Now, it is not only talking about providing the parental controls, it is not only with the TV or it is not only with the computer, it also involves your mobile applications. So, the first is like when we talk about using AI as a benefit for learning, you can see how a problem can be solved. We can sit with the child to explain him, this is the problem and this is how I am solving it with the help of AI. That is the first point. The second is we need to have creativity. If a child is good in drawing, we need to motivate him by means of explaining him how to use AI for increasing his creativity, but not make him to be dependent on that particular creativity. Number 2. Number 3, you can see how logics can be built up, because every child in this country are not same. Every child in this country are different colors, different sense. So, we need to understand and accumulate their curriculum or their career as per their scent and their style. So, keeping this as one of the point, we need to make every child equally operable with all these points, whether they are able to solve the problem solving skills, whether they have creativity, whether they have logical thinking, whether they have futuristic careers for. We need to comprise all to see to that the child understands the ecosystem in learning rather than getting biased or over dependent to it. So, we need to also think into promoting the lifelong learning skills, how to learn, where to learn, who is your teacher, which is the website that you are going to look into. These suggestions has to be given by the parents, even if they are going to be wrong, because no parent wants a child to be in a dump shed. Every parent wants his child to be in a glory, and this understanding between the parent and the child should be there first, so that it further carries towards the society. The third or the last, before you can see, it improves the collaboration which I was talking about. Finally, it talks about the confidence. If the parent travels along with the children, then there is a back end confidence that comes up upon the child. Wherever he goes, he nurtures his conversation. Wherever he goes, he carries his confidence, so that this AI will also be responsible for him, where he can take a ethical solution behind it. So, that is the very valid question that you asked regarding to it.
So, there are so many benefits of learning AI, dear viewers, and sir, but how and when our parents can introduce AI to their children, sir?
So, we have categorized this particular of learning into 3 buckets. You could see in my PPT. So, one is like age of 5 to 7 years, where we say we need to have an explanation. Every time you keep on explaining to a child what you are doing, what you are doing, what you are going to do. So, you have to give the child, you have to explain the problem solving activity step by step to the child, so that he learns. You can ask him to draw a diagram, you can ask him to create an image, that comes into the category of 5 to 7. But in the tweens, which we call it as 8 to 12, we are slowly integrating with the responsible. Why you should do, because of what you have to do, these questions has to be answered by the parent to him. And the last is your teens, which are always ethical. So when you complete the first two stages, the third stage will also depend upon how ethical you are. What is the government rule talking about? What does IT Act talk about? What is DPDP Act talking about? What should be done by the child? What action should a parent take? So when it's not only like when a child gets stuck, or whenever the notice is being received by the parent, we should not go run behind after then finding out what is the role, how to make it escape, and these things cannot be done. We should sensitize ourselves. First of all, we should be very confident with the IT Act, what does it do. And even though we recently we frequently and recently said that as per IT Act 2025, we say that Instagram is blocked under 17 age, which is to be sensitized. We always nurture this, but still in India we find a plenty number of children having the access to Instagram even though they are under 15. So we need to sensitize, and the parent has to take a charge onto it. The exact problem arises when the parent is not aware, and there is always the technological growth benefit taken by the child. आपको कुछ पता नहीं. Most of the child says that you don't know anything, or out of the content updation the parent becomes the fully dependent on the child, because he only does it, he only knows it. So these two lines of statement is given by most of the child, where the parent becomes silos. So we need to stop it, and every parent has to sit and discuss and look into the channel or look into the particular app, why he is using, why she is using. So that is there is the plenty number of ways to attract
children, right? So, sir, family plays a vital role in anyone's life, right? So using AI as a family, we really wanted to know about that, and how AI can promote growth for any student, like academic growth, or how AI can help students, sir.
Yeah, even we say that NEP 2020 talks about disruptive technology as per the chapter 23 and 24, and we also nurture most of the teachers coming here saying that please sensitize the AI literacy then and there. Because whenever we again talk about AI literacy, we say that responsible usage of AI and the ethical use of AI, we only talk about these two lines very frequently, where no person from the outside world will talk to your child, rather than the parent being you should take a cause of it and note of it, so that you need to sit along with the family and then appraise what is good, what is not good. So from NCERT's focus of point, you can see the app called as Diksha portal or Diksha app, which has plenty number of AI search engine optimization, where the child can interact with the textbook, where the child can even select the recommender system, where the video is also being projected. So likewise, there are plenty number of tools which are brandedly available given by the Government of India, Ministry of Education with respect of it. So we need to acknowledge it, we need to use it, we need to appraise it, number one. Number two, when you talk about bedtime routines, we need to have plenty number of other mobile apps developed. For example, whenever a child goes to a bed, he needs a bedtime story. So there is an app developed by the Ministry of Education along with the NCERT, CIET, where this app is called as E-Jadu Pitara, which has 3 bots into it, which helps the teacher, which helps the parent, and which helps the student also to nurture his creativity. If a child wants to listen to a story in any of the regional language, they can use this E-Jadu Pitara to have their own stories. Or a teacher has some issues in a classroom, he can also use the bot which is given in the E-Jadu Pitara to take a necessary support from that. Third, parents also can occupy this particular E-Jadu Pitara app for sensitizing the creativity into the child's brain. So because we are all in the digital era, we are not in the old age where we are not able to remember more than 3 or 4 stories at a time, and if we are going to revise or repeat the same stories, so most of the children are abusing us also. So we need to understand that using certain verified mobile apps which has the efficiency of what you call the creativity and cultured based mobile apps should be sensitized, which is using AI into it. So third comes with the creativity and making things. You should bring some of the tools which you experience where it has been guided and it has been promoted by Some of the branded, which whenever I talk about branded, it doesn't mean the corporate, it talks about the government of India initiatives, because whenever government brings any of the initiative, it has been verified by plenty number of scientists, professors and the technocrats, where all sit together and then collate and bring it to the surface. So we have an approval, we need it verified, and most of them have appraised it, and we need to follow the ethics. So finally we need to understand, if it is a family, we have written it as a family, if the family is together, and we need to take decision like where the AI can be incorporated into our family, it should not be generic. So that is a very factual point that I would like to request.
Okay. So could you please explain this more to us through any example?
For example, if a child is very good in electronics, for example, he visits a exhibition on robotics, I have taken it up, then you can ask me how AI can fit into it. The first is like, we need to understand the intelligent behavior. How does AI allow robots to perform? The child has to ask, and the parent has to answer this question to the child. Exactly what is robotics, what does it mean? Whenever we talk about robotics, it doesn't mean the machine that is standing in front of us. We don't talk about Sophia alone, there are plenty number of other robots, but there is a common platform or common methodology behind all the robots. Whether you are talking about Alexa, you are talking about Siri, you are talking about any other in the world, all will have different names and different features, as we have different types of cars in India. Similarly, we need to understand the basic understanding and methodology behind it. So what is intelligent behavior, what is machine learning, what is computer vision, and what is natural language processing, because these are the 4 core methodologies or technologies that we bind together so that we bring into the robotics into it. So we need to understand, as a parent we should understand, and then we should also answer the question.
Okay. And sir, if we talk about mental health and mental well-being of any students out there, so how can our parents help their child, sir?
Yeah, because the another biggest question that you have raised is that today being digi oriented, and most of the child are going into the silos world.
Right.
So after grabbing mobile phones or grabbing the laptops, they are going into their own rooms. Earlier days there was no room for a child.
Right.
Today we are all in a digital civilized world, so we give the ecosystem as a freedom of our country, and it also has become slowly right for a child to claim a separate room. So that is the parameter that we have nurtured today. So in that case, as a parent, and unluckily if you both are going to be in the same working environment, then it is going to be the same parameter that you need to understand, that the physical, mental health and well-being is the need of the hour. It's not only giving a mobile phone silently to the child, it's not only giving a laptop very specifically to the child.
So there must be some red flags.
So parents have to interact. Today we are losing the momentum in talking to each other. As a family, there is no relationship. When a child comes to the age of 15 or 16, he stops slowly avoiding to interaction. So that comes at the first. So my point is, whichever I have presented here is, the first parent must interact with the children on regular basis with the physical and mental well-being. You need to take your child outside to see the understanding patterns of the child. Both mother and father together should go to understand. Number 2, watch out the signs of anxiety, depression, anger during digital learning. That is the second emphasis that I want to explain. Parent need to understand, when you buy something for a child, when you give it to the child, the resemblance of the child matters a lot. If your child doesn't smile, or if a child over smiles, if your child is always not at all smiling or always showing anger, I didn't ask you, why did you buy? So these questions are seriously to be noted by the parents. Number 3, check whether your son or daughter is becoming secretive. Whatever you give, immediately they will take and run into your room. So they need to open it secretly and understand it. So that is the serious offense. Serious offense for the parents to understand or take a note of the child. You need to discuss with the child, you need to interpret with the child, you need to make the child to speak outcomes. The 4th also, post-COVID, most of the digital resources are outside the market Now the parents are having more responsibility in selecting them. Fifth, combine online time with fun. Make the children avoid their TV watch time, avoid them to always emphasize with the digital ecosystem like mobile, remove them the mobiles, or always keep these digital devices at one place all together before going to the beds. Because what happens today, when a room is being given, the child pretends as though they are sleeping. After 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they come out of the bed and then take the digital devices and start interacting in the nights. So most of the problem arises for a family there. So we need to sensitize, combine online timing with fun-filled offline programs. Parents must ensure the involvement of wards in physical activity. Even if a son or daughter moves out of your house, until he reaches the schools and comes back, there should be some vigilant observation what is really happening to their ecosystem. So this is the first parameter that I would like to emphasize here as a physical and mental well-being. The next is that when you ask me about the safety, we can give you some of the parameters like we cannot always keep TV or laptops away, but we need to sensitize that they are using it in a common rooms where everybody sits together and then looks into it. Number two, we need to have digital rules in consultation. I will pick up the mobile phone after getting up from the bed for 5-10 minutes. Which if it is mandatory. Otherwise, waking up from the bed and looking into the mobile phone, the eyes will go away. Slowly, your visionary impact will start, which the medical report says about. But owing to plenty number of official engagements at 40 and 45 years or 50 years, we are all forced to use it. But for us, we need to emphasize the children, saying that we have office work that we are doing, but they should not be engaged into it. Talk with the children regularly so that they are using the responsible way of AI. We need to discuss with the children what is really happening in the nets. Whenever they are silent with the social media, whenever they are silent with their own web searching, we need to sensitize them what is good, what is not good. We need to discuss about the time taken by them for interacting plenty number of things inside the internet world. If aware, may use parental controls, but instead of using parental control, it will be an understanding between the parent and the child if they are going to sensitively talk about what is good and what is not good. So these are some of the parameters that I would like to tell you.
Okay. So, sir, of course, parents need to be very vigilant while their children are using AI, but in some case they cannot force themselves, right? So, sir, at that very moment, guidance is very much important for children, because AI, if we talk about internet, it's a vast field, it's a ocean of information, right? So there must be some red flags as well. So how our parents can tell their children how they can use internet or AI wisely, sir?
The only mantra,
if we talk about social media,
the only mantra we have today is that we need to sensitize only one word to our future generation or current generation, saying that during your digital era, wherever whether you are using whatever e-commerce websites, or you are using any social media, Facebook, Twitter, actually you should not use if you are not under if you are under 17. If you are using it, then also, because one sensitization is that most of the children will not have email IDs also, but they will be using their parents' Facebook.
Exactly.
They will be using the parents' mobile phone there, where the parents are aware of it, but they think that they are doing positive.
Credit card and debit cards
So,
as well.
IT Act policy should be sensitized and the parents should be there. That's what we say, that always be in a common room. Spend your time with the family all together in a common room. Don't be in a different rooms. Rooms are not for building the digital divide. Rooms are built only to have small privacies. That's it. Number two is that we need to create a routine of discussion with the children. Talk to the children regularly. Consult with the parents and teachers. We need to understand the parents and teachers, and we need to understand the discussion flows on. If your child comes to the understanding, yes, my father is talking to the school regularly, then there won't be any hindrance in the digital era. And usage of assistive tools by certain children should be monitored, because those assistive technological tools are coming into the attack of cyber today. If a child is disabled, most of the parents give a very loose heart to the child, saying that yes, we have a child like this, we are giving full freedom to the child. That freedom should be also monitored for your understanding, but do not force the child to sit continuously in front of the TV, laptop, mobile phone and never access any pressurizable content, because the pressure is not same as the parent. The pressure is not as the same as the boy who is living next door, because parents compare one child to another child where this pressurization starts. So, we need to avoid these things for better understanding of this particular AI.
So, definitely comparison shouldn't be there, and sir, as we are running very short of time, but still we want to know about the AI tools for parents specifically, sir.
Yeah, we will run through only one slide into it, where we need to understand the there is one tool, we call it, because we need not say that this tool is good, because we are in the eco source of freedom to select, freedom to learn, freedom to accept. So, in that case, we always say that prefer open source tools, which could be the best, so that you are not going to pay anything to anybody, you are not going to earn from anybody, you are going to just learn from somebody. So, open source is there. So, when you ask me some of the open source tools, we can project it saying that Teacher Flow or Tech Flow, Vedyan, EDC, these are some of the known tools that are projected as they are good in the market. So, we are also showcasing this, but still I would like to emphasize that these tools should be amplified and verified by the parent before they start using, and we are not giving any recommendation for these tools, because every tool has its own data capability, understanding capability, and it starts moving on to it. So, we are not sensitizing any tool, but we only say that whatever tool you select, please use open source tools.
Okay. So, in a brief, sir, we would really like to know about the do's and don'ts for children, sir.
Yeah, finally, we can understand, because most of them are sensitization comes here, because do's what comes in do's, that we need to treat our personal data carefully, because in AI you are very much impressed. We were recently looking into one of the child's window in one of the school. The child was using AI ChatGPT, where he was creating some of the problems, like my father is fighting with my mother frequently, what is the solution, can you give me the solution? So, this is one line of personal identity. This ChatGPT, however, gives a reply to the child, but it also records, because the child has logged in to the ChatGPT using his own personal email ID, where the question that he has arised, the answer is also generated, and his identity is also hidden into it, where it goes and sits into the story, which we call it as large language models. So, once such identity is lived into the digital ecosystem, it means that wherever somebody asks a question similarly to that, then AI will 100% give output to the third party, saying that in his house also there was a problem. Yeah, Rahul has asked me this question, Rahul has used this problem and he felt it very happy. This summary will go to somebody. So, kindly see to that your personal data is not revealed. Whenever something is used, some technology is used by a child, ask them to ask permission before using AI. You should also always use generic passwords, strong passwords to keep your devices and softwares. You should also treat or make your child be respectable towards the society. When you talk about the don'ts in a parallel way, you can understand that do not share any of your sensitive information, which I said you. Don't give away any or reuse the same password which you had used. And third is that don't download anything. My friend has said it, my wife has said it, my unknown person has said it. Don't do that. Once you just have a summary or a survey onto it, and then you start downloading it, and don't use your phone sigmas or don't use somebody else recommendations, because recommendations will be only to be helpful for precisely taking an optimization. Other than that, it don't use. You don't see AI tools which are unethical. So, these are some of the parameters that I would request all the parents to make a note of it, because wherever we go, our children's name are along with us. Until 17, you are the most vulnerable as per IT Act 2020. It's not for threatening, it's for understanding, because we are the owners of our children.
So thank you so very much, sir, and to all the viewers out there, do follow what our experts are telling you. You need to follow all these do's and don'ts, and this competitive world, we can say so. And as we are running very short of time, so we have to wrap up this session here only. But before that, let me thank our expert. Thank you so very much, Rajesh sir, for being here and for this insightful session. Thank you so very much. And here, before we wrap up this session, all the parents out there, we need to understand that they should, we as a parent need to learn a lot new things with changing times, and should not be afraid of exploring AI. And before I wrap up, let me share a very important piece of information with you all, dear viewers. In case you want to order 4th and 7th grades new NCERT textbooks, you can order it from Amazon, Flipkart, and from NCERT official website. And before I wrap up, let me share all the sessions that you can watch on PME Vidya channels. We will be back with our another live interaction at 2 p.m. and that session is for Maths 9th standard students. The topic is Triangle Part 2nd, followed by Social Science 9th standard students. Topic for the discussion is People as a Resource. 3 p.m. Sanskrit 10th standard students will be having their live interaction. Sukteha पर हम डिस्कशन करने वाले हैं 3:30 बजे साइंस के 10th standard स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. वी विल डिस्कस मैग्नेटिक इफेक्ट्स ऑफ करंट पार्ट 2nd. एट 4 p.m. ऑनलाइन प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम विल बी देयर. एट 5 p.m. सहयोग सेशन वी विल डिस्कस पॉज ब्रीथ रीसेट, encouraging adolescents to hit the refresh button of mental wellness. At 5:30 p.m. नीपा में हम बात करने वाले हैं विकसित भारत 2047 के लक्ष्यों के दृष्टिगत विद्यालय नेतृत्व की भूमिका एवं संभावनाओं पर चर्चा करेंगे. और हम अपने सभी देखने वालों को ये भी बता दें कि 2:30 बजे का समय रहेगा हमारे मनोदर्पण परिचर्चा का. ये हमारा विशेष सत्र है, आप ज़रूर इसका हिस्सा बने. विद ऑल योर क्वेरीज हम बात करने वाले हैं फ्रॉम आर्ग्यूमेंट्स टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग लर्निंग इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन. हाउ यू कैन लर्न इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन, दैट इज़ वेरी मच फंडामेंटल एंड वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट दीज डेज. आप ज़रूर इस कार्यक्रम का हिस्सा बने. यहाँ पर हम जाते जाते आपको एक बात और बताना चाहेंगे, जितने भी ब्रांड्स का नाम हमारे विशेषज्ञ ने लिए हैं वो सभी सिर्फ शैक्षिक उद्देश्य के साथ लिए गए हैं. इन्हें प्रमोट करना हमारा उद्देश्य नहीं है. विद ऑल दीज इन्फॉर्मेशंस, मी रेणु भट्ट इज टेकिंग योर लीव, बट यू स्टे ट्यून्ड टू PME Vidya channels for more informative program. Namaskar.